Let me tell you something that too many people learn far too late. The fastest way to lose yourself is to spend your life chasing someone who has already decided not to value you. Think about how much time, energy, and emotion people waste trying to convince the wrong person to care. They send another message, make another call, give another excuse, and keep hoping that one more effort will finally change someone's heart. But here's the truth. If someone constantly makes you question your worth, you're fighting a battle you were never meant to win. You have to understand that your attention is valuable. Your time is valuable. Your love. Stop handing those gifts to people who treat them like they mean nothing. Every time you run after someone who keeps walking away, you're silently telling yourself that their approval matters more than your own peace. And that's a dangerous place to live. The hardest part isn't letting them go. The hardest part is accepting that you've been trying to earn something that should have been given freely. Respect isn't supposed to be negotiated. Love isn't supposed to be begged for. Appreciation isn't supposed to feel like a reward you have to qualify for. The right people don't make you feel invisible. They don't leave you wondering where you stand every single day. Now, I know some of you are thinking, but I care about them. That's exactly why this is difficult. Caring about someone isn't the problem. Forgetting to care about yourself is. Somewhere along the way, you started putting their happiness ahead of your own. You started measuring your value by how they treated you instead of remembering who you were before they ever entered your life. Here's what confidence really looks like. It isn't yelling. It isn't proving a point. It isn't trying to make somebody jealous. Confidence is quietly deciding that you deserve better. Confidence is waking up one morning and saying, I'm done chasing people who don't see my value. That's strength. That's growth. That's self-respect. The moment you stop chasing, something powerful happens. You stop living in survival mode. Your mind becomes clearer. Your heart becomes lighter. You begin investing that same energy into your dreams, your family, your purpose. Suddenly, you're no longer waiting for someone else's text to determine your mood. That's freedom. Some people are lessons. Some are blessings.
Some are simply reminders of what you'll never accept again. Don't be afraid to release what no longer brings you peace.
Every closed door creates space for the right one to open. When you finally stop chasing people who don't value you, you make room for people who do. More importantly, you rediscover the person you've been neglecting all along, you. And once you truly know your worth, you'll never beg anyone to recognize it again. Now let me take this one step further. Because once you stop chasing people, there's another habit you have to break. You have to stop reacting to everything they do. That's where real strength begins. Too many people believe they have to answer every insult, defend every rumor, respond to every cold message, or explain every decision they make. But the strongest response isn't always words. Sometimes it's silence. Silence is uncomfortable because we're taught that we must always have the last word. We think if we don't explain ourselves, people will misunderstand us. We think if we don't defend our name, we've somehow lost. But life has a funny way of teaching you that not every battle deserves your attention. Some arguments are designed to drain your energy, not reveal the truth. The moment you understand that, everything changes. When someone expects you to react and you don't, you've taken away the control they thought they had over you. They expect anger, but they get calm. They expect desperation, but they get confidence. They expect another emotional response, but they get complete silence. That's powerful because silence forces people to face themselves instead of feeding off your emotions. Now don't confuse silence with weakness. Those are two completely different things. Weakness stays quiet because it's afraid. Strength stays quiet because it has nothing to prove. There is a huge difference. A person who knows their worth doesn't need to convince the world they're valuable. They simply keep moving forward, and their results do the talking. Think about the most successful people you've ever seen. They don't spend every day arguing with critics.
They don't stop building their future just to answer people who never believed in them anyway. They understand that every minute spent proving someone wrong.
That's a lesson all of us need to remember. Your peace is expensive. Don't hand it over to people who haven't earned it.
Every emotional reaction costs you something. It costs your focus. It costs your confidence. It costs your joy. And if you're constantly reacting to other people's behavior, you're allowing them to control your emotional life without even realizing it. Instead, protect your energy. Wake up with a purpose bigger than proving a point. Invest your time in becoming wiser. Let your consistency become your answer. Let your growth become your response. Let your success become the conversation you never had to start. And here's what often happens when you refuse to react. The same people who ignored you begin paying attention. But by then, something even more important has happened. You've changed. You're no longer seeking validation because you've discovered something far more valuable. Remember, anyone can react. It takes maturity to remain calm. It takes discipline to walk away. It takes confidence to stay silent when your emotions are screaming for attention. That's the kind of strength that transforms lives. Your silence isn't surrender. It's proof that your peace is worth more than anyone's opinion. Now that you've stopped chasing and you've learned the power of silence, there is one question you have to ask yourself. What are you going to do with all that energy you've been wasting? Because here's the truth. If you don't fill your life with purpose, you'll eventually fill it with worry. If you don't invest in your own growth, you'll find yourself thinking about people who have already moved on.
That's why your next move is the most important one of all.
Focus on becoming the best version of yourself. Too many people spend years studying someone else's life. They know what everyone else is doing. They know who unfollowed them, who posted what, who said what, and who is dating who. Meanwhile, their own dreams are sitting on the shelf, collecting dust. Their goals are waiting. Their potential is waiting. Their future is waiting. And every day they delay working on themselves is another day they give away to distractions. Listen carefully. The greatest investment you will ever make is not in a car, a house, or a title. It's in the person you become.
Nobody can take away your
knowledge. Nobody can steal your discipline. Nobody can replace your character. Those are the things that keep paying dividends for the rest of your life. Every morning you have a choice. You can wake up wondering why someone didn't call you back, or you can wake up asking yourself, how can I become better today? That one question changes everything. Read one more book. Learn one more skill. Exercise even when you don't feel like it. Save money instead of wasting it. Small choices made consistently create extraordinary results. Here's something most people don't realize. Confidence isn't something you magically wake up with. Confidence is earned. Every promise you keep to yourself adds another brick to the foundation of your self-belief. Every workout you finish, every goal you accomplish, every difficult decision you make instead of taking the easy road, those moments build the kind of confidence that nobody can give you. And nobody can take away. Stop waiting until you feel motivated.
Motivation comes and goes like the weather.
Discipline is what carries you when motivation disappears. The people who succeed aren't always the most talented.
They're the ones who keep showing up when nobody is watching. They keep working when nobody is clapping. They keep believing when the results haven't shown up yet.
And let me tell you something beautiful about personal growth. The more you improve yourself,
You don't need to post every victory. You don't need to convince anyone that you're changing. People will notice. Your mindset will change. Your habits will change. Your standards will change. And eventually, your life will change. The funny thing is, the people who overlooked you may eventually notice the transformation. They may wonder why you're smiling more, standing taller, and speaking with confidence. But don't grow so. They'll regret losing you.
Grow because you finally realized your life is too valuable to stay the same. Your mission isn't to impress the people who doubted you.
Your mission is to become the person you were created to be. Every day you spend building yourself is a day you're building a future that no disappointment can destroy.
Keep your eyes on your purpose, your hands on your work, and your heart focused on progress. That's how ordinary people create extraordinary lives. The moment you invest in yourself, you stop chasing approval and start attracting opportunities. Now, here's where everything you've learned starts coming together. You stopped chasing. You discovered the strength of silence. You began investing in yourself. And once those things become part of your life, something incredible happens without you even trying. Your absence begins to speak louder than your presence ever did. Most people don't understand the value of something until it's no longer available. That's human nature. When you're always there, always answering, always fixing problems, always making yourself available no matter how you're treated, people can start believing you'll never leave. They begin to take your kindness for granted. They stop appreciating your effort because they assume it will always be there. That's why constantly making yourself available can sometimes make your value invisible. But the moment you step back, not out of anger, not out of revenge, but out of self-respect, everything changes. Suddenly, the calls become more frequent. The messages start coming in. The same people who barely notice your presence begin noticing your absence. They start asking questions. They start wondering why you're no longer chasing them, why you're no longer trying to convince them to care, why you're no longer accepting the treatment that once kept you trapped.
Now listen carefully because this is important. Don't let that attention become your new addiction. If you walked away to find peace, don't turn around the moment someone finally notices you. Too many people make progress only to lose it because they confuse attention with change. Just because someone misses your presence doesn't mean they've changed their behavior.
Missing you and respecting you are two very different things.
Real change is shown through consistent actions, not emotional moments. Anybody can apologize when they feel lonely. Anybody can make promises when they realize they've lost something valuable. But character isn't revealed by words spoken during regret. Character is revealed by actions, repeated over time. That's why you must learn to watch what people do instead of getting caught up in what they say. Walking away doesn't mean you hate someone.
It doesn't mean you're cold or unforgiving. Sometimes walking away simply means you've decided to stop sacrificing your peace to keep someone else comfortable.
It means you've raised your standards.
It means you've raised your standards. It means you've finally understood that love without respect will always leave you empty.
And here's another lesson you need to remember. Your absence doesn't only reveal who values you. It also reveals who only valued what you did for them. Some people miss your kindness, but not because they loved you. They miss the benefits they received from having you around. They miss your availability, your support, your loyalty, your willingness to always say yes.
That's why you have to be wise enough to recognize the difference between being appreciated and being useful.
The right people won't wait until you're gone to realize your worth. They'll value you while you're standing beside them.
They'll respect your boundaries. They'll celebrate your growth instead of feeling threatened by it.
Those are the relationships worth protecting. Everything else is a lesson, not a lifelong assignment.
As you continue growing, don't be surprised if your circle becomes
smaller. That's not a loss. That's clarity. Not everyone who started the journey with you is meant to finish it with you. Some people are only part of one chapter, not the whole story. And that's okay. You don't have to force people to stay where they no longer belong. Keep moving forward with confidence. Let your standards become higher than your fears.
Let your peace become more valuable than anyone's approval. And never be afraid to leave a place where your worth has to be explained.
The people who truly belong in your life will never require you to shrink yourself just to keep them close.
When you choose self-respect over constant availability, your absence becomes the loudest message you'll ever send. And now, we've arrived at the most important lesson of all. Everything we've talked about, stopping the chase, embracing silence, investing in yourself, and letting your absence reveal the truth, leads to one destination: peace. Real success isn't measured by how many people admire you. It isn't measured by how many messages you receive or how many people suddenly want to be part of your life. Real success is waking up every morning with a calm mind, a grateful heart. For too long, many people have been living as emotional prisoners. One phone call can make their day. One ignored text. One negative opinion can steal their confidence. And the sad part is, the people holding those keys often don't even know the power they've been given.
The moment you decide that your peace
is non-negotiable, your entire life begins to shift. You stop arguing over things that don't matter. You stop trying to explain yourself to people who have already made up their minds. You stop carrying the heavy burden of trying to please everyone. And, let me tell you something. That burden is exhausting. You were never created to spend your life earning acceptance from people who refuse to see your value.
Here's one of the greatest truths you'll ever hear. Not every battle deserves your energy. Some people want an argument because chaos is all they know.
Some people want your attention because they feed off your reaction. If you keep giving them access to your emotions, they'll continue to steal your focus from the life you're trying to build. Protect your peace the same way you protect your future. Be careful who you allow into your mind.
Be careful whose opinions you believe. Be careful who gets access to your time. Every yes you give to the wrong people becomes a no.
Every unnecessary distraction takes you one step farther from the person you're capable of becoming. Now, don't misunderstand this message. Protecting your peace doesn't mean shutting the world out. It doesn't mean becoming cold, bitter, or distant. It means becoming wise. It means recognizing that forgiveness is healthy, but trust must be earned. It means loving people without allowing them to destroy your self-worth. It means caring deeply while also respecting yourself enough to walk away when your value is repeatedly ignored. Life has a way of testing your commitment to your own standards. There will be moments when loneliness whispers that you should go back. Don't fall for it. Loneliness is temporary. Regret can last much longer.
Never trade your peace for temporary comfort. Instead, keep building, keep growing,
keep praying, keep learning, keep becoming the person you promised yourself you would be. The people who are meant to walk beside you will recognize your worth.
without you having to beg for it.
The opportunities that belong to you will arrive as you continue preparing for them. And the life you're dreaming about will be built one disciplined decision at a time.
The foundation you've built within yourself.
Stop explaining yourself to people committed to misunderstanding you. Stop sacrificing your peace to keep others comfortable.
Stand tall. Know your worth. And keep moving toward the life you were created to live.
Because at the end of the day, the strongest person in the room isn't the one who makes the most noise. It's the one who has mastered their mind, protected their peace, and refused to settle for anything less than the respect they deserve.
Protect your peace at all costs.
Before you send another text.
Before you make one more phone call. Before you beg someone to see your worth. Stop and listen. What if the one thing you've been afraid to do is the very thing that will change your life? Imagine what happens when you stop chasing. Stop explaining.
Disappear from the lives of people who took you for granted. The tables turn. Your confidence returns. Your peace grows. And suddenly, the people who ignored you begin wondering what happened. This isn't about playing games.
Stay with me. Because this message could change the way you see yourself forever.
If this message spoke to your heart today, don't let it end here. Remember, your value has never depended on someone's ability to recognize it.
The moment you stop chasing people who don't appreciate you, you create space for peace, purpose.
Walk away with confidence. Protect your energy.